Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're going to do two things today. Count them, 1, 2. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice multiplying by 10. Multiplying by 10 is mental math. All it involves is moving the decimal point. That is all it is. So we're going to start with some examples of multiplying by 10. Then I'm going to give you some practice problems multiplying by 10. And then we're going to multiply by 100. Again, multiplying by 100 is mental math. If you can multiply by 10 and you can multiply by 100, you can multiply by 1,000, and you can do it all mentally in your head, is what I'm saying. So when you multiply by 10, all you're doing is moving the decimal point. One place to the right. For example, if I have the number 8, Cheyenne, what is the place value for this digit? Say the ones place. The ones place. And as we all know, the decimal point is always behind the ones place. Even if it's not written. You find the ones place, you put the decimal point just to the right of the ones place. So if I multiply 8 times 10, I am taking this decimal point. So we have 8, and here's my decimal point. I am moving it to the right one place, and it's going to go here, which means I need to add a 0. So 8 times 10 is 80. You all know that. Many of you were either taught or you just thought all you have to do is add a 0 to the end. Yeah. That's not true. Because if I gave you the problem 2 19/100 times 10, and you just made it, now this is going to be an incorrect example, and you just made it 2.190, you didn't change the value of the problem. You just added 0 thousandths to it. Well, if you add nothing to it, 0 thousandths to it, that's the same value. Same value. So that doesn't answer the question. You can't just put a 0 behind it. You're moving the decimal point one place to the right. So now instead of behind the 2, it's going to be behind the 1. So this problem would then become, the answer would become 21 9/10. It's all about moving the decimal point. If I had 0 63/100 times 10, I have to move the decimal point one place to the right. So it's behind the 0. Now it needs to go behind the 6. So I would put 6 3/10. Do I have to put 0 tens there? I mean, I have 0 $10 bills, I have 6 $1 bills, and I have 3 dimes. You wouldn't say I have 0 $10 bills. So if it's in front, you don't have to put the zeros in front. I mean, I could put zeros all the way behind it, but that's not necessary either. It's simply moving the decimal point one place to the right. Multiply by 10, you move the decimal point one place to the right. Easy peasy. Raw chicken squeezy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down 5 problems on the board, and after I write those 5 problems on the board, I'm going to pause the video and let you do those problems. And then after you have done those problems, we will unfreeze the video and we will go over those problems. I'm going to make these problems up off the top of my head by reading the board over there. 3 19/100 times 10. I'm going to make this one, and I'm just making this up off the top of my head. 45 6/10 times 10. 1 75/100 times 10. 0 and 36 hundredths times 10, and 214 times 10. So I just made those up off the top of my head by reading the board over here and having these problems that are on the assignment due tomorrow. So now, pause the video, do these 5 problems, and when the video's unpaused, we'll quickly go over these. And we're back. Thank you for sticking with us.
Hi, thank you. Thank you.
Those of you in my class have had an opportunity to complete these. Hopefully those of you at home paused it and had an opportunity to complete these.
Yes, you have.
But let's go through them very quickly. 3 and 19 hundredths times 10.
Ooh.
Laria, the decimal point moves one place to the right.
Correct.
So it becomes 31 and 9 tenths. 45 and 6 tenths times 10. Decimal point moves one place to the right.
456.
456. I can put the decimal point there if I want. I don't have to.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that's the ones place. If there's nothing behind it, we're good. 1 and 75 hundredths times 10. Decimal point goes behind the 7.
17.5.
That says 17.5, kind of. 17.5, or 17 and 5 tenths. Or 17 and a half if you want to be fractiony.
Fraction.
36 hundredths times 10. We move it from here, one place to the right, puts it behind the 3. We have 3 and 6 tenths.
Correct.
214 times 10. Ooh, this is tricky. Well, we have 2, 1, 4. Here's my decimal point. If I need to move the number to the right one place, my decimal point moves here. I can't just have nothing there, so I add a 0. 2,140. The reason I'm teaching you this is so that it's mental math.
Mental.
I should be able to give you 57 of these problems and you'd be done in like 7 minutes.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because all you're doing
It's mental math.
is moving a decimal point.
Easy.
But that's not all. What we're going to do next is we're going to multiply by 100.
Same thing.
So this is multiplying by 100.
Wow. For money.
So this is multiplying by 100. Let's look at an example problem. If I had 1 and 85 hundredths times 100, when I'm multiplying by 100, I move my decimal point 2 places to the right. So it's here, I need to move it here, and then I need to move it one more time.
Yes.
So it's 185.
Correct.
So you just do it one more time?
Yes, Ilaria,
So it depends on how many zeros there are.
pretty much. These are powers of 10. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. If I had 3 times 100, my decimal point's right here. I gotta move 2 numbers behind it. So I just make it 3.00, move my decimal point twice, and that becomes 300. If I have 12.398, 12 and 398 thousandths, and I'm multiplying that by 100. I still move it 2 places. I have equals 1,239 and 8 tenths.
That's a lot of money.
All you are doing is moving the decimal point twice if you're multiplying by 100.
I wish the star would have these.
All you're doing, all you're doing. Now let me randomly make up 5 problems.
The same one.
5 problems that I'm going to randomly make up off the top of my head that I'm reading from the sideboard that is due tomorrow. I'm randomly making up 3 and 19 hundredths times 100.
They're the
Yes.
same problem. Oh wait, no.
You haven't noticed that?
I'm randomly making up 45 and 6/10 times 100. I'm randomly making up 1 and 75 hundredths, times 100. I'm randomly making up 36 hundredths times 100. And I'm randomly making up 214 times 100. Now I will be pausing the video. While the video is paused, you at home will solve these problems. While the video is paused, the thousands in attendance will be solving these problems as well. When the video unpauses, we'll go over the answers rapidamente. Peace. And we're back. Hopefully you've completed these 10 problems multiplying by 100.
Yes, I have.
And we will go over them quickly because it's really pretty easy mental math. As I said in my previous description, multiplying by 100, you just move the decimal point 2 places to the right. 2 places. Move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So here, it's behind the 3. I need to move it once, twice. So then this answer becomes 319.
Yep.
Yes.
Point.
Here, I'm multiplying by 100. 45 and 6/10 times 100. If I move it once, well, there's nothing other behind it, so I got to add a 0 and put the decimal point behind the 0.
Wait.
Otherwise, if I leave it there, I've only moved it once. And on my paper, it would say 45 and 6/10
No, I got that.
times 10 is the same as 45 and 6/10 times 100, which doesn't make any sense. Here, we move the decimal point 1, 2, so this one becomes 175. This one, we move the decimal point 1, 2, this one becomes 36. On some papers, I saw a 0 in front of the 3. That
Oh yeah, I did
kind
that.
of looks silly. I mean, I'm not going to mark it wrong.
I did that.
That's be like, all right, I have 6 1s, 3 10s, and 0 hundreds. I mean, you probably wouldn't say that.
So cool.
And since the decimal point's right here, because it's behind the ones place, and I have to move it to the right twice, I have to add 2 zeros. 2, 1, 4, 0, 0.
Wow.
So 21,400.
We hate you.
All we are doing is moving the decimal point to the right.
You got one correct. Tomorrow, since we're doing these, do we have to do them, or can we just give you this?
Tomorrow you're just turning it in, or today you're turning it in.
If you have to
Whatever's
do
up.
them.
Boom, shakalaka, peace out, God bless, love you, do something kind today, save the bees. Hopefully I become a beekeeper soon.